Okay, dust him off, get out of there, ready to go. Okay, quiet, settle everybody. Okay, ready to roll camera?
Camera rolling.
Roll sound.
Speed.
Slate it.
Treasure of the Village, Slate 3, take 1.
Action.
We're here to make a film about an amazing medical discovery that could save hundreds of thousands of lives and help millions more ill and suffering people across the globe. On any given day, millions of people across the globe are dying from preventable diseases like tuberculosis, conditions such as cardiac arrest, and suffering from debilitating afflictions like hypertension and rheumatoid arthritis, mainly because they cannot afford the treatment or medicine to ease their suffering. But what do these different diseases and health problems have in common? What are their connections? And why are we talking about them in the same context? The common denominator that links all these health problems together is inflammation. Medical science has discovered that acute inflammation in the body is a major cause of many diseases and illnesses, from tuberculosis, hypertension, rheumatic heart disease and cardiac arrest, to ulcers, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis and bronchial asthma.
Many books have been written on the subject, mainly about what to do to prevent inflammation and how to cope with it based on diet and lifestyle. But there has not been a definitive medicine or treatment based on objective medical scientific practice to deal with it until now. A treatment to do this has been discovered and developed by an Indian medical doctor who is currently living in southeast India, and his name is Dr. Appa Rao. Over the past 20 years, Dr. Appa Rao has been treating patients in India with great success for a range of ailments that have caused acute inflammation. Dr. Appa Rao is a microbiologist and immunologist who has made a key discovery about how and why inflammation works the way it does. Because he had no funds to set up an elaborate research project, he began the only way he could. He took a radical approach and set up his own local research facility in his home, and then, moving step by step within the community, he began testing his medicines, first on animals, and eventually by treating patients who felt they were willing to try a different kind of treatment.
What Dr. Appa Rao discovered was that his treatment for acute inflammation covered a wide number of different illnesses. Over the last 25 years, he's had an outstanding success rate. Because Dr. Appa Rao lives in India, which is a very poor country, he needed to make his medication and his treatment affordable to his patients. In doing so, he has made his treatment so affordable that he can treat tuberculosis for a mere £100 as opposed to the £5,000 that it would cost to treat somebody in the UK.
It is important to note that this is not a home remedy or an alternative medicine, but an important scientific medical discovery based on the sciences of microbiology and immunology, which means it can be used in hospitals all over the world to treat patients. But what is even more remarkable about what Dr. Appa Rao has done is that he has developed his medicine so that it can be made very affordable to local people in India. And this means that poor people in other parts of the world who suffer because they can't afford medical treatment can also afford it. We want to make this documentary film about Dr. Appa Rao and his discovery because we believe that a film can help bring worldwide awareness of his works, which will lead to millions of people all around the world being able to benefit from it. Because this discovery is so valuable, we have decided to call this film Treasure of the Village. Because not only is Dr. Appa Rao himself a treasure to the community he serves, but also we believe that his discovery can perhaps be the most important modern medical treasure of our time.
We will make this documentary film to not only show the importance and ramifications of Dr. Appa Rao's discovery and his work on the World Health community, but this film will also show exactly how and why Dr. Appa Rao's medicine works scientifically, tell Dr. Appa Rao's story and about the circumstances leading up to his discovery, helped to popularise this discovery so it can be used to help millions of people who suffer from various inflammatory illnesses around the world. In our film, we will be conducting interviews with some of the patients, including medical doctors who are suffering from acute inflammatory illnesses and have been treated and cured using Dr. Appa Rao's medical treatments.
Dr. Appa Rao is still working in India, where he has recently received a small grant to help further his research. And though this is a good thing, it will by no means be enough to give this amazing discovery the kind of world stage it deserves or needs.
In my 30 years as a filmmaker, I have met and worked with lots of famous people, including music producer Quincy Jones, boxing champion Mike Tyson, talk show host Jeremy Kyle. But one of the people who've impressed me the most is Dr. Appa Rao. And the reason being, here is a man who, despite his own impoverished background, and against all odds, he went out and made a discovery that has the power to bring positive change to millions of people all across the world. Now, when he started, it wasn't easy. He was considered the poor man's doctor and wasn't highly thought of in India because all of his patients were poor people. But he had a dream, and he continued, and he persevered until he made a breakthrough. And I think this is not only an inspirational story, it's a story of hope and of great achievement. And that's why I decided to make this film.
In 2011, the World Health Organization identified 8.7 million new cases of tuberculosis, with 1.4 million people dying of that disease. Brazil, one of the world's fastest growing economies and with a population of nearly 200 million people, ranks 68 out of 192 on the list of people dying from hypertension. Hypertension treatment in Brazil costs the government the equivalent of $671 million per year, of which 52% is spent on medicine. According to the Arthritis Foundation, in the United States, arthritis patients cost the country more than $80 billion annually in medical care costs and lost work. We believe that if we can bring Dr. Appa Rao's method of treatment to these health problems, not only will it make a difference to those suffering these diseases and to their families, but it will have a positive impact on the economies of those countries where people are suffering from increased instances of acute inflammatory related diseases.
We believe that Dr. Appa Rao's discovery can be as world-changing as that of Dr. Jonas Salk, the maker of the vaccine that is used to vaccinate children against polio, or Dr. Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin.
We've set our budget for £30,000 to make this film, which is not a lot at all for a 1-hour film.
We all believe that being involved in this film is one of the few times that we can say for sure that we are doing something to make a positive difference to the lives of millions of people across the globe.
We have already been in contact with many well-known international health organisations who have shown great interest and indicated that they'd be happy to help distribute the film either with private showings or with connections to many media outlets.
In addition, there are educational television stations around the world who will be our natural market for this film.
How many times in your life can you say you've been a part of something that actually makes a real difference to the lives of millions of people across the globe? Well, all of us working to make this film feel that this is exactly the case. And we invite you to join us in helping to make this film by giving your donation. Thank you very much.
Treasure of the Village! Yay!
Please look for us at Indiegogo.